Okay, today I'm going to be cleaning out the chicken coops. We use the manure to make compost. It makes amazing compost. We've been using these 4x4 bins here and letting the chickens just kind of stir them. So I put, here's one that we put hay and food waste and corn stalks and things like that in there. And just let the chickens stir it. They get in there and they stir it all the time. You can just see the beautiful brown soil that we get out of it. It just smells amazing. I know that you're not really supposed to compost in solid walls like this because you're supposedly, if you don't get enough air, it's more anaerobic than aerobic. But we really haven't had a problem with that. I don't know if it has to do with the chickens constantly stirring it and giving it lots of oxygen. But as you can see, we have more compost than we know what to do with. And I think I have 2 or 3 other bins. Wow, that is my guinea fowl. It is one loud bird. But we've got more compost than we know what to do with. But I'm going to be showing you about how much compost I can get out of our chicken coop. I get this amount probably about every month, and we have 36 birds in there. So I'll go scoop up some chicken manure and show you how much we get. There's the wheelbarrow I'm going to be using, and here's the chicken coop. And we have 36 chickens and 2 guinea fowl that perch in here every night, and that's their laying boxes and their feed box there. I'll show you about how much manure I can get out of here. Makes amazing compost. Get this amount, like I said, almost every month. And hopefully I can work without the goats being too big of a nuisance, since they're extremely inquisitive in everything I'm doing. Okay, so I've scraped out pretty much everything that I care to get out right now. To give you an idea, that's how much manure I got out. So now what I'm going to do is, this is, very nitrogen rich, hot manure. So it's not really good to, go straight into your plants. It definitely has to be decomposed, and it, really needs to be mixed with a lot of carbon so it can break down. So it's winter pretty much here, so we'll compost this and it should be nice, beautiful, fertile soil by spring. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it some carbon to mix with. I'm going to empty out all the chicken boxes that are just full of sawdust in there. Go ahead and mix that sawdust in with there before I put it into the compost heap, and that should get it heating up. So I'm just grabbing these buckets one at a time and adding them here. Get that. I haven't collected the eggs yet today, so several of them still have eggs in them. I'll just condense them into one of the empty buckets here until I get new sawdust put in there. We've tried a lot of different laying boxes, a lot of different things, and we've tried making them out of wood. We've tried ones that you buy. So far, this setup of just building a rack for buckets has been the best. Really easy to clean, as you can see. You just put sawdust in them and then dump it straight into the compost. So alright, got an egg in there, so we'll just put all the eggs in. All right, it's really not really that bad of a chore. I mean, I've only been out here maybe 15-20 minutes doing this, so not bad. The chickens are all wanting to come in since the sun is setting. Okay, so I'm finished cleaning out the chicken coop. I'm always amazed at how much waste comes out of those chickens. This probably weighs probably at least 200 pounds of manure and sawdust that's come out of that chicken coop in the last month. And geez, what, 38 birds in there? To me, that just seems like an awful lot of waste, but it makes amazing compost. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to layer it on top of this Timothy hay. Our goats have a lot of Timothy hay waste. We're still trying to figure out a better system for that so that we don't have so much waste. But there's also some corn stalks and some other stuff that are chopped up in here. So once I mix this, high nitrogen manure in there with the carbon sawdust in there, this should heat up really quick, and I should get a nice hot compost pile. And before I know it, I'll have some beautiful soil. So I'm gonna go ahead and get shoveling. These chickens are so helpful, honestly. We don't mix our compost because, as you can see, I just start piling it in there, and before I'm even done shoveling it in there, their curiosity, they're jumping in there and they're stirring it. They'll stir this up and kick it around and keep it stirred. Okay, I got it all piled in there. Yeah, after shoveling that, it was probably about 200 pounds or so. So I'll let the chickens stir that in, and then I'll continue to throw the Timothy hay waste that we have, throw that on top, and any corn stalks or food scraps that we have, and that should get cooking. So here's the pile about 5 days later. You can see the chickens have stirred it and spread it out pretty good. And even though it's been getting down into the low 20s at night, my pile's been staying consistently up around 120, 125 degrees, which is awesome. So it's definitely in a thermophilic state right now, where it's composting nice in there and producing quite a bit of heat. And yet the other bins, you can tell, they're also constantly being stirred as well. I can see spots where the chickens jump in here and dig deep holes trying to find stuff to chew on. So it's looking good. They've spread it out. I'm sure today they'll jump in there and stir it up more as they get bored, and we'll continue to have it decompost. Compost? I don't know.